our things here. I have a cow, a horse, and a wagon, and we will travel south to San Augustine, where we will have some sanctuary. It is really difficult to travel in this way, but if we stay, there are slave hunters, there are British, and there are Indians who will steal Ana, Jose, and Marco and take them to Charlestown and sell them. And I cannot allow this to happen because we have been like family together for so many years. Oh, am I hearing anything?
Don't make any noise. You'll feel to be friendly. So I hope you won't tell nobody you see me. It's been a long, hard journey. I come from a place outside of Charlestown in the Carolinas where I've been forced to work on a rice plantation run by the British. It's hard work. I work from sunup to sundown. And that rice stalk is hard and sharp as a knife. My hands are sore, cut, and bleeding. I don't think I can make it for another season working in them rice paddies. Words come down to the plantation about a place in Stanislaus, Florida called San Augustine. They say if a slave can make it there, they can be free. I want to be free. It took me a long time. I tell you, a long, long time to make my mind up to run. Because I know if I got caught, I'd surely be beaten, maimed, or killed. But knowing this, the desire to be free still burns in my heart. So late one night, with just the clothes on my back, I ran south for my freedom. I ate berries and whatever I could find along the way. I did get some help from the Yamasi natives. They knew the land. They knew the trails, and they gave me a chance to rest, and they fed me. Then I went on my journey. I came to the woods. The trees. Oh, the trees were so thick, I could hardly see. But that was a good thing, because it gave me some place to hide. I sleep in the day, and I always run at night. I came to the swamps. The grass was so tall, and the mud was so thick, I was running as hard and fast as I could. But them bugs, ooh, I tell you, them bugs, they nearly ate me alive. But I kept on running. I was getting so tired. I wondered if I was even close to St. Augustine. Then I saw the light of this farmhouse, and I decided I'd rest a spell in the barn with the horse and the cow. While I was there, Elms, she came in, and she said I'll be safe there for the night. And she took me inside to Miss Emma. And Miss Emma, she gave me some food, and she told me that she'd give me some more food for my journey. That was such a wonderful thing. I was so scared. So please don't tell nobody you see me or that Miss Emma helped me. Because you never know what you see out here. There's slave catchers all around and British patrol. And they'll probably offer you something for information about my whereabouts. Please, don't give me up. I've come so far. It's been such a hard journey. Please, don't tell nobody. Miss Emma helped me,
You must travel very safely on your adventures too. Please take some food and water with you. I'm glad that we could give you a little bit of rest on your journeys. Travel safe.
Good night.
All right, folks, let's travel on this way.
See how this is traveling shit? It ain't easy though.
Ooh, sorry.
I love it.
All right, guys. Remember, we are sworn to secrecy. The British colonial government often relies on trappers and traders from South Carolina and Georgia colonies to hunt down and return runaway slaves to the South Carolina colony. As Senora Sanchez told us, there is a bounty hunter and soldiers nearby, so we must be on our way and have our guard up at all times. Follow me. Sorry.
I would like to see it in the daytime. Yeah.
Look. Holy shit.
Now we'll see a change. Looks like we have company this evening. Come forward. Don't be strangers.
You've been wandering the land. Tired. It's a little bit warmer here in this broken down farmhouse. My name is Duncan MacLeod. I came to Georgia in 1737 from the Highlands of Scotland. And we settled in New Inverness. And we've been on these coastal Georgia islands ever since. And the way we got our land was Governor Oglethorpe gave each of us 50 acres. So some got good land and some got bad. So it's tough to dig out in this new land to make a living. So I start trapping and I start hunting. And there's lots of game here on these islands. And I got good at it. So I would sell the skins, sell the meat, make a living for my family. And then, when I got up to the Carolinas, some plantation owner says to me, you know, you're good at hunting, why don't you hunt for runaway slaves? I said, what do you mean, slaves? He said, yeah, we have slavery here in the Carolinas. And they're running away to La Florida. La Florida's giving them freedom. Can you believe it? So once they heard they were getting freedom in Florida, they started coming through Georgia. That's a great opportunity for me, I says to my wife. We could make some money with these huge bounties that they're paying. So I ask you, have you seen any runaway slaves in these parts?
No,
No.
not at all.
No.
Not at all, eh? Because I know they're coming down. They're coming down. Not all of them will make it. It's sad. It's sad not all of them make it, but they look good to me then. So I asked you, do you have any information? Have you seen any tracks?
No. No, sir.
I don't believe these groups have any information.
Private will take it.
Very well. Since you will not help my friend, perhaps you will help me. I am Private Quill of the 42nd Regiment Foot, under command of General James Oglethorpe, the Governor of Georgia. Now, I despise this god-awful, disgusting cesspool that they call La Florida. It's too hot. I do not want to be here anymore. So, if you can help me out and quickly end this campaign against the Spanish dogs and put an end to this papist rule of Florida, I will reward you the same as I have rewarded my friend from Scotland and offer you and your family 50 acres of land. Now, those of you wondering about, what's our loyalty worth? Besides the land, a handsome reward of Spanish treasure. You all know the Spanish are rich, their churches are lined with gold. everywhere in those churches. And after we plunder the cathedrals of Florida, we will help use that money to pay for the wonderful settlers that come here. So I ask you this, have you seen not only any runaway slaves, my friend, but any Spanish garrisons, their fortifications, or where their troops are hiding?
No.
Wonderfully helpful. How about the natives, the Yabasi, the Chani, or the Timucuan? Any natives in this area that are not allied to the British Empire?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Nope.
You have proven to be so useless. Before I have you arrested for treason, I recommend you be on your way, or I have no use of you. Please get out. Private escort them
See
out.
ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Run.
Good one, good one.
I'm proud of everybody in this group.
You see the story? How awesome it is? That's an awesome story. They do a good job too, don't they?
Good job on not letting anybody get access and not letting any of the freedom seekers or any of the people helping get in trouble back there. We're definitely not welcome there, and the sooner we get away from them, the better. And it will be better for all of us. Thank you for keeping our secret and keeping the Spanish house safe and freedom seekers. I think we can see the ruins of an old Spanish mission church. Look there is a light inside. There is a lone Franciscan friar praying at the altar.
Look, baby, can see ghosts.
There's a ghost right there.
You can see the ghosts.
Yeah, they do.
This is awesome, man.
We did this in the day. It did not seem the same. Rainbow. I see the rainbow. That's like Brandon when he was little.
I'm Father Domingo Hernandez Cardola. I'm a Christian friar. I've been sent to this area of La Florida by the Catholic Church. For more than 100 years, Catholic Church has had missions up and down the East Coast. The living there for the natives is very, very hard. There's not much for them. My job is to tend to their bodies and to their souls. It's very difficult. I bring them a little bit of food, maybe some rice, some maize, a small tool, a knife or something. But the important thing is also tend to their souls, not just their bodies. I try to tend to their souls, to bring them the religion, so they can have the Word of God. But for the last 10 years, a terrible tragedy has befallen them. The British and their allies have been attacking the missions. They've destroyed almost every mission, except a few that are currently in San Augustine. They've taken the natives and they've enslaved them. If they can't enslave them, they've been killing them. Many of them have run away. into the swamps, into the forest. Most of them don't make it. Some have. The journey is extremely difficult. It's very hard. The few missions that are left, I go there and I tend to them. I help them. But there isn't much I can do. There's not much I can do for their bodies. So I tend to their souls. I give absolution to their departed souls, to the ones that have just died, so they can have a better life with our Heavenly Father in heaven, with God. I perform Mass. I get to perform marriages, wedding ceremonies. Best of all, I provide baptism to their newly born children. Give them a hope that in the future they'll have a better life. Everything I see, everything I hear, everything I do, I write it down in my meager journal. It's not much I can do, but I write everything down. And I take it to my superiors in San Augustine so they can be recorded in the Catholic Church records. So in the future people will know what has happened here, and how freedom seekers have been running away from their enslavement and certain death. You have a long way to go, but you're almost there. It's very dangerous. Be careful. Que Dios los bendiga. Dios los proteja. May God be with you. Be safe on your journeys. And I hope to see you in San Augustine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
Hold me for a second. Can't be tired, you got people and shit.
Sorry to disturb you during these very difficult times. I bring with me a group of refugees seeking your protection from the heretic British. Among us are slaves from the South Carolina colonies who humbly beseech you and grant their request for freedom.
I see. Well, please enter. Adelante, pasen. On behalf of our most Catholic team, I welcome you here to St. Augustine, and us, our humble servants to the crown. What little that we have in our food stores at this time, please, I offer you. So feel safe of being here, and welcome. Okay? Now, yes, it is a little bit concerning, our situation right now. The citizens in general are just growing wary about this constant bombardment that we're experiencing from the English right now. And with each passing day, yes, there are murmurs of concern about how we're doing here while we're protecting ourselves in the Castillo. But let me assure you, again, we are in the most safest and strongest condition, and I understand, yes, that we have had a number of refugees that have inundated us, especially the ones from Santa Teresa de Mose, which I personally asked for them to come over here after that horrible siege that basically destroyed their home and their land. And I just, sin palabras casi, because I just remember so clearly back in March of 1738, at the time when we not only erected that home, basically we formulated friendship and a brotherhood for the individuals that, like yourself perhaps, were escaping the slavery of South Carolina to come here and find a home, find a place of your own. And that was Santa Teresa de Mose, which we founded at that time. Now, I even was surprised, by the way, on how quickly the citizens took to the land. They basically cultivated it, they erected a church, and also they were able to build fortifications to protect our northern side. So, and they were also leadered by Francisco Menendez, which I think he is in the next room preparing, no?
Capitán Menéndez acá, está acá.
Excellency.
Sí. Well, very strong man, very nice and very powerful. I am pretty sure that you will get along with him if you see him. He makes me laugh. He was kind of like their Mansa Musa in our land over there, and very ingenious too. However, the lines as they've been getting decimated as this bombardment comes on. Just please, as you feel yourself at home, do not despair. We are in a good scenario. We are protecting ourselves. As a matter of fact, when you just came in, you interrupted me. I was just finishing my final touches to send to the militia, the Mose militia, who I have them here in the Castillo, and they're preparing for our launch back. Is that correct, Teniente?
Yes, sir.
So, excuse me a second, let me just finish what I was doing. So, Teniente, what I want you to do is I want you to pass on these instructions to the troops, and also take all these individuals here. Maybe perhaps amongst them there might be one that may be willing to help us in our cause, and then maybe strong and willing, just like Menendez.
I can see a few of them here. Not to worry.
So please accompany them. And again, thank you for feel free and feel at home here in San Augustine.
Thank you.
All right, folks, follow us to the next stop.
Sargento, órdenes de su excelencia. To the Mose militia, count is close to 300 English stationed in Santa Teresa de Mose. Form a sortie of 360 of our men, including Mose militia in front, garrison soldiers behind, Indian scouts on the back to clean up. Capture all or not. Surprise at dawn. Report to scouts.
Thank you for. Hola. I'm Francisco Menendez, captain of the Mose Militia. I fought with the Yamasee against the British up in the Carolinas. I was such a fierce fighter. The Yamasee told me about a place down in Spanish Florida that if you got down to Spanish Florida, you could live free. I am Mandinga. I was brought here on a ship to work on the plantation in the Carolinas. Once I got away from the fighting up in the Carolinas and came down to Spanish Florida, I was betrayed by a cacique called Mad Dog. Mad Dog tricked me back into slavery. I escaped again, made my way back to Spanish Florida, and began fighting with the Spanish against the British. I was a fierce fighter with the Spanish, and they put me in charge of the Mose militia. So I petitioned the governor, who in turn petitioned the King of Spain to establish Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, Fort Mose. We live at Fort Mose. We defend the Mose line, which is the first line of defense for the city of St. Augustine. Our community at Mose, we live, we work, we play right there in that community. We got word that the British
had captured Fort Pupo, Fort Picolata, and Fort San Diego. So we knew Fort Mose was next. So we left the fort and came into the safety of the Castillo. The British had with them elite troops. They had the British elite troops, they had the Scottish Highlanders, they had the Cherokee warriors. So we were no match at Fort Mose for them as a militia. Once we got in the safety of the Castillo, the plan is to go and retake our fort with the help of soldados and the Native Americans and the Mose militia. So our planning here now is to go and retake our fort. So Janto, do we have an instruction?
Yes, Francisco. The governor has ordered us to immediately break the siege of General Oglethorpe by retaking Fort Mose. He has given you 18 Native Americans, 33 militiamen, 27 prisoners that have been released, and 47 Spanish soldiers. He has given us no cavalry, but we have 4 artillery pieces.
We should be able to do with that. If we're going to do a sneak attack at night, we need to be quiet, and we won't have the artillery and the horses making noise. What about the scouting report?
Yes, we do have a scouting report. We were able to get up close enough to get a look up, see if they were dragged in and already this and that. And we do have a plan.
Okay, so we should be able to take the fort back?
Yes, Francisco.
Okay, so we will take back our beloved Fort Mose. Viva Mose!
Viva!
Viva España!
Viva España!
Viva Augustine!
Viva Cenas!
All right, we should leave these brave soldiers.
Viva!
Leave these brave soldiers to the preparation. Come with me and we'll make our way inside the city. Hopefully we will be able to find shelter and get through these fearful nights.
Way over here now. Can't see, it's pitch dark.
Look at your bathroom right there. You gotta go?
Yeah, but you can't go, you gotta say something. I'm good. So dark. Woo-hoo.
Quiet. Bringing attention to this.
Shh. No, they're getting drunk, it's okay.
We got the rum.
Wow, look at the moon.
Look, that was it.
Wow, look. This is the bridge.
We gotta go this way now.
You got a story outside here. getting drunk.
All right. Our journey has now come to an end. You are safely in St. Augustine after unknowing and life-threatening injuries.
Yay!
Good
All
job.
right. You have followed the footsteps of the untold numbers of enslaved Africans and native peoples who made it their journey in search of freedom. Most never made it, but a few managed to do so.
We're them.
The Mosaic story is a story of unequivalated is their story, an unequivalated American story of courage, determination, and in the face of the unimaginable odds, to achieve our most precious stances: justice, freedom, and equality. Fort Mose is where the African-American struggle and fight for freedom began nearly 300 years ago. It echoes